Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Random Beer Review. Today we're doing an unboxing. The unboxing is of a brew box. Now this is the June edition of the Greener Futures brew box. Well, the Greener Futures Club from Beau's. Today is July 14th. We will get on to that, and we will get on to the month late thing. I first want to see what's actually in this brew box, and then we will discuss a few of the things that happened with it. I'm very curious to see what's in it. I'm also curious to see if everything in it is really aged or not, because that's something else we'll discuss at the end. Because if it is really aged, I'm going to be possibly a little more angry. The hell is this thing? Oh, this better not be my sorry gift. What the hell is this? I don't want to break it, but yeah. Okay, so we have a little Beau's opener. A little brew box sampling glass, which is nice of the brew box. It's actually a nice sampling glass. And a Beau's bandana. Yeah, well, so we will get talking about that. Tasting notes, which I'm not going to look at because it will tell me what's in here. Let's pull these beers out and see what we have. First of all, Lug Tread. And Lug Tread that was bottled on the 29th of June. Okay, so bottled after the brew box would normally come out. That's a good start. Definitely contains nuts, is this one. And it's one of the actual Greener Futures Project beers. We'll put that over here. We'll actually read the pamphlet for the Greener Futures Project beers. Brew the Change. Is this a Beau's beer? Yeah, okay. This is ale with honey, cranberry. Okay, well, we'll read about this one too. Yeah, this one was bottled in May 15th, so, you know, when the box came in June, it wouldn't have been old. Haters Gonna Hate. Bottled in April. Wag the Wolf. Bottled in June 16th. The other Greener Futures project, which is the Big Sleepy. And again, I can't actually read that, so we'll read it when we talk about things. Buenos Dias Grued Ale, which is the Grued Ale we actually talked about last night on Beer Dweebs United, which is basically like a margarita. Bottled in June. And lastly, Royal City Brews Anniversary Ale. Here's to 2 years now, because there's always a special brew in the box. 8 beers. Yeah, we have 8 beers, so we have the right amount. So first and foremost, we have this guy, which I'm actually intrigued about, and again, bottled on the 8th of June, so that's fine with a thing that's old. This guy's bottled on the 29th of June, again, great, super fresh bottle. Nice of them to do that. These two don't matter, they're the barrel-aged variants. This guy was bottled on the 5th of May, so Brew the Change was bottled on the 5th of May, so we're now 2 months old when it should have been here last month. Again, we'll talk about that. Wag the Wolf, the 16th of June. And then Haters Gonna Hate. This is the one that actually kind of hurts. This is the one that was bottled in April. That one hurts a little bit. And then a bandana and a tiny keychain ring and a nice sampling glass from the guys themselves, the Brew Box. So before we talk about exactly what I want to say, Big Sleepy was one of the two special ones for this. And it is, the Big Sleepy is a barrel-aged blend, of course, 8.6% alcohol. The Big Sleepy part, oh, they don't actually have, definitely contains nuts, barrel-aged blend at 6.7. I guess I'm going to have to try and read them. Usually they have info on there that I can actually use. Yeah, I can't actually read that, but I'm sure if I get the angle right, you guys can. And I'll be able to read it when I actually watch the video. So there we go, that is the Big Sleepy. And then definitely contains nuts. Oh, definitely contains nuts is just one beer. And it's a whiskey barrel-aged Elephant Monsoon, 4 months barrel-aged. So that one actually, this actually might be really good. Because it's not just the usual blending and everything else they do. So anyway, this brew box was due, well, this club box, because this one isn't actually the brew box. The brew box facilitates the transportation of this across Ontario. They're not the actual owner of the club. The club is actually owned by Steve and the group at Beau's. So this was due in June. Money was taken from me in May, which is usually normal. And then June 15th is usually when you see the box. June 15th came and went. I'm like, whatever. June 20th came and went, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I contacted them. And they told me that they were waiting on the beer from Beau still. That Beau still hadn't even sent them the stuff. And then we were all worried, every one of us, because the Canada Post strike was coming up as well. So all this was happening at once, and even coming into July, they still hadn't been sent the beer. And they're like, you know, we're asking Beau's to send a new beer, a special beer for people for having to wait this long, you know, for making them wait this long. And they say they want to send a bottle opener and a bandana, which is what they sent. Here's the problem. Because you're buying this club from the brew box, it looks like it's the brew box's fault that your beer isn't there. It makes the brew box look bad, and Beau's isn't really pressured to move faster because it's not looking bad on Beau's, it's looking bad on the brew box. So because of that, they don't really need to move faster, even though they should. And then to throw in a bandana and a bottle opener that costs them almost nothing, while still putting in a fucking almost, well, 2.5-month-old bottle of Haters Gonna Hate, is making me want to hate. I mean, it's making me want to hate. The group is great, the club is great, the beers are great, it's actually worth the money. I mean, I don't mind spending the $80 to get it shipped to my door, I really don't. It's a great product, and the people at the brew box are great people, and the people at Beau's are great people. I just don't understand what happened with this, and I don't understand why people actually had to physically reach out and find out what was going on. I mean, it was one of those things where people were, I know some people that were actually getting angry about not getting their box, and I can understand that. And they were getting angry because they were blaming the brew box on it, and then the brew box would finally tell them, well, we're just waiting on the shipment still from Beau's. And then the anger would still come at the brew box, which was weird. I mean, the only thing the brew box could have done, and I mean, I may have actually, personally, as a business person, I may have done this, is refunded everybody's money for May, that was taken out in May for the June box, and said, you know what, we're not working with Beau's anymore, we're not doing the Beau's Club anymore. That's the only thing they really could have done. This is the thing, a lot of breweries get bogged down in paperwork, get bogged down in deadlines, get bogged down in everything. And it's known that it's going to happen. I mean, I run a beer festival. I know this stuff happens. I have it happen to me all the time as well. You know, a due date comes and goes for, say, their actual payment for the festival, their table rental fee. The date comes and goes, and then you have to remind them, and then they forget the extension date, and then you have to remind them. The only way that anything changes is that you actually full out come out and say, no, we're done. And it hurts your business, and that's the problem. It hurts. I actually had to do it to 2 breweries this year and say, you know what, you're out. I can't keep waiting. I needed to pay my insurance. I have things I have to pay for my customers. You have things you have to pay for me. And it's one of these things where as the brewery, you have to take care of your commitments. And if your commitment is to get these beers to the brew box in a timely fashion so they can get their beers out, then you have to get the beers to the brew box in a timely fashion so they can get these beers out. And if something happened, like, I don't know, one of these beers is bottled on the 16th of June. If something happened where the beer just wasn't ready, it wasn't brewed yet, and that was the problem, then you have a responsibility as the business to actually find out what everybody's contact is and contact them and say, we are sorry, we have not been able to get the beer out to the brew box yet to get it shipped to you. It is on the fault of a fermentation problem, or a beer didn't turn out properly and we don't want to send you a second tier beer, anything like that. It's the brewery's responsibility to take the forefront, take the bulls by the horn, if you will, and be the explanation. It shouldn't come on to the middlemen, especially because of the fact that they're just the middlemen. They can't rush Beau's at all. All they can do, as I said, is say, we're done working with you. And they're not going to do that because Beau's is the biggest brewery in Ontario. And, well, maybe other than, like, Steam Whistle and Mill Street. Possibly the only 2 that are bigger, other than macro beers. But again, we're going off. So it comes down to a strange little thing, a strange little circle. I mean, what if it happens again? Now it's the end of July. I should be getting the money taken out of my account for the August box. What happens if August comes and goes and they don't ship their beer on time, and in August the box is late? That's really going to look bad on the brew box. And there's where the quandary comes in. What has happened that has made Beau's make sure that they're going to get the beer on time to the company, and what is going to happen if they don't get the beer on time to the company? Is Beau's going to take the initiative to actually contact everybody and say what's going on, or will they leave it to the brew box again? And really, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say. I've rambled too long. We're at 12 minutes. Sorry, guys.